Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while, but some things were happening and I wanted to step back from YouTube for a little bit. And what a great video to return to with, of course, JoJoLands with Indomitable. Say hi, Indomitable.
Hello, it's me, Indomitable. My laptop battery's dead, so I had to do a very jank setup.
A very jank setup. That's how we indie YouTubers have to do it. Indie tubers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you want to know something really? It's a random thought, but you know what's funny?
What?
About today?
What's funny about today?
So apparently today, completely unrelated. I guess it's like somewhat connected because JoJo's also very random, but the sweet life of Zack and Cody.
Oh, that. Yeah, that's
their
today.
table is ready, sir.
Their table is fucking ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
Best Italian food in the world.
Yeah, so they're gonna go
God.
have the best Italian food in the world.
Oh man,
now,
time flies.
7:30, and this was 15 years ago when they made the reservation.
Oh god.
Yeah, I think I remember watching that episode, and I was like still in school.
I probably also watched that episode on ABC Saturday morning block.
Yeah, I was still in elementary school.
Oh god, I am aging. I am an old man.
We are aging, but I don't know. I'm gonna say something. It may be a hot take, hot take. But I think that The Sweet Life on Deck is better than its predecessor.
Do you remember the movie?
The movie's goated. Okay, the movie's goated.
The movie where they fought there was an evil clone
of
facility
evil
or
Mosby,
like
right, or whatever. Or was that a different episode?
That might have been a different episode.
That was the Halloween
movie. They were
episode, or are you talking about the evil doppelgangers?
They were at the twin summer camp or something, and they were all the twins were being mind controlled or something like that.
I think I remember that.
God, that movie was so fucking wild.
Yeah, they really didn't hold back. But I will say the one thing I don't like about that show, personally, is the fact that these kids have so much wealth and they're just kind of messing around, you know? I don't know. I think that type of story is kind of lazy, in my opinion. So anyways, let's talk about JoJoLands.
Yeah, JoJoLands.
Which is exactly what my complaint is. That's the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. Also, I'm wearing glasses today because why not? I'm trying something new. I know you can't see it, but yeah.
Whatever whatever you gotta do. Anyways.
Whatever we gotta do, and it's also because of the Hawaiian climate that we're gonna deal with. Which also, a lot happens, but also not enough happens, in my opinion.
Nothing. Okay. Yeah. Here's what I'm gonna say. I did not enjoy this chapter until the last 2 pages.
I'm gonna be honest. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with you because it's just a bunch of just a bunch of fake
a lot of
outs.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's who stole the watch? I know it had to have been one of you. It's let's check the camera, and then it's just nothing's happening. You gotta remember, we're coming back from a month hiatus too of the manga, so nothing's happening. And then at the very end, fuck, there's a doppelganger of one of the crewmen. I'm forgetting his name. The big one.
The dumb one.
The muscle. Yeah, the muscle of the group. Jodio is the one he was talking to. Paco. Yeah, he was talking to Paco, and then he turns around and you see Paco returning to the table. So and in that moment, all of a sudden it gets very interesting, and then it ends.
Yeah, I mean we have this whole this is just like we talked about it last chapter where we're just ooh, is this a fake out? What's going on here, right? Where it's there's gonna be 2 enemy stand users, right? That's gonna attack one.
It was not the
one
case.
for the people inside the bank, and then or not inside the bank, inside the jewelry
store.
The
watch store.
Yeah, and then one outside. But no, it's just one person.
No, it's one dude who's pretending to be Paco. the watch thing was just a result of the lava rock, but we already understand how the lava rock works.
Yeah, and also, a quick question: was it Dragona? Did Dragona really have the lava rock?
Yeah,
from last chapter, because it appeared on
Oh.
Dragona. Did it move to Dragona, or Dragona had it the entire
actually-
time, right?
I don't want to go back and check. I don't remember. It's been 2 months.
Yeah, because I wasn't. Yeah, because it's been 2 months. Yeah, but like, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, yeah, because they're talking about like, oh, like, because they, like, I remember last chapter they got caught, and that was like the big thing, like, oh, one of the watches disappeared.
That was how it ends. Is like one of the watches is gone, and
Well, I
there's
don't
no way it
remember
could have
if
got
they
out
went
through.
into the watch store with the rock. Like with.
Oh, they did. She wanted to do a test. That's
that
what
was
it
the
was.
test.
Yeah, so she
Okay.
did have the rock.
So
Yeah,
okay,
so she did have the rock.
Yeah, she did have
yeah.
the rock. Okay.
You're-
Yeah. Well, the test
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening is, you know, based on this chapter, they take the rock. Because she has it behind her. I guess it's a pin, right?
It's her pendant.
Or pendant. Yeah, that's like stuck to her.
Her wrist.
Yeah, it's stuck to her shirt.
It's on her wrist.
Right? And so it's like hidden behind the pendant. But when they like look for the watch, like they look at the footage, right? And it's like, oh, what's going on here? And so, like, Dragona realizes that the watch is now with the
She
rock,
has the watch.
right? Which is what they were testing. But,
Right. But she doesn't remember activating her stand to use the rock. That's the whole.
That's where the mystery comes in. It's like
big
this
thing.
rock.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it the mechanism because that's
The
what
mechanism.
Yeah, the mechanism. I think the rock activates stands, which could be terrifying. Like imagine like automated stands like in part 5, like you saw that in part 6. Like with Requiem and like the green baby.
Yeah.
Right? It's like imagine the rock
So, basically
activates
that.
stands to like activate its power.
That's an interesting concept. I don't know how Rocky would go about that, but that's an interesting concept.
I'm just saying it's not off the table. This could be very much the case.
No, nothing's off the table. But so far, I don't think a single one of our theories has been right. So.
That is true. But what I will say is, I thought it was funny though that like the manager was apologizing because
Like,
Smooth Operators
like
moved the
bad
rock
business.
onto like his feet.
Put the watch at his feet. It's like, oh, it was at my feet. Oh, I'm so sorry for, you know.
I also like
accusing
how
you.
like they get like made to feel bad, but like it's deserved because they're very snobby. I don't like this order at all.
I don't like snobby people. I don't.
Yeah, who look down
like
upon
rich
you.
snobby people.
Yeah.
Listen, I grew up in like a rich snobby
Yeah,
area.
yeah, you
despite
LA.
My family like. Yeah, despite the fact that my family like does not have the money to, you know, afford to live here, I fucking hated every single goddamn second of those uptight bastards so fucking much. Now, did I use them to my advantage because I befriended their children and went to some of the coolest birthday parties ever? Abso-fucking-lutely. But like, you know, I just, God, those lifestyles, I don't understand how people can be so fucking uptight like that, you know?
Or it's just maybe like the condescending nature that they like look at them. Like, oh, they're not gonna be able to pay, or like watch them, they're gonna steal something.
You're lesser.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
like
lesser
already
than
assuming
me.
that
I'm
there's gonna
above
be
you
crime.
for arbitrary reasons.
Yeah. Just kind of that snobby behavior I didn't like, and like you got that like a couple like, cause we started this part like a couple chapters ago, and you already got like hints. So you got like, no matter what, like you shitty small time crooks, just kind of like that. I'm just like, all right, dude.
It's the story about a poor man making $1 billion.
Yeah.
That's his dream. That's his goal, and I want to see him achieve it.
Yes. And it'll be great. And so like looking back on this chapter, most of it really boils down to just trying to figure out what this rock does.
Yeah. Well, no, most of the chapter was trying to figure out what the fuck happened to the watch, and then in the last 2 pages, it's like, the villain. Oh shit, you're the villain, fake Paco.
Araki made us wait 2 months for this. Just another cliffhanger,
Okay,
which I get it.
Yeah, I'll say this. It's a good cliffhanger. It's just, the story of this chapter building up to it did not warrant such a good cliffhanger. 1. 2, I really like the concept that JoJo figured out that not even whoever this villain is that we still don't know who, like, a name yet, fully understands the Rock either.
Yeah.
Creating more mystery for the Rock. Like, it's just an item that, relates to wealth, but nobody except like maybe Rohan fully understands what it is or how it works.
Yeah. Well, it's given me
that makes Rohan a really big threat, and that's why I think Rohan will be the final villain.
You think he's gonna be the final villain?
After this chapter, kind of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think what could go on is we're gonna have like a main villain. And I'm not saying that the Rohan idea is bad. I think he would be like, he's gonna show up to help them at like the last possible second, but then take it for himself. So he'll like kind of backstab, like twist villain at the end. Like you have a main villain, and then you have like the twist villain. Kind of like, it's kind of like I guess except for the bad ending, but like for her, but in part 8 with the whole doctor. How like the doctor was the main villain with Toru, and then the mother was kind of like that twist villain who kind of like saved them in the end. That I could see Rohan having that kind of role.
That same exact. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And I think, and like to your point, I think it's really cool that the villain is kind of on the same page as our like central characters here. I wouldn't say heroes because they're criminals, but
they're not good people.
Yeah, they're not good people, but I do like the idea that like what you said, because it gives me a lot of Father Pucci vibes, where Jolene was like going after like the green baby after a certain time, right, with like the whole stuff with Dio, and Father Pucci was also going after the green baby and not understanding what was going on,
Yeah.
Like he was like figuring out what the powers were as they were going. Yeah.
I don't know. I like that storytelling method of like the villain is just as in the dark as the heroes about what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Like they have just about the same information, and nobody like truly knows what, like its true worth or power or something like that. Like that's a good concept.
Yeah. It's very much a departure from Dio, where Dio kind of had everything figured out.
Dio
in part
knew
3.
Fucking everything.
Yeah. Dio's like, I know your every step. I know how all these sand users work. I know my own powers.
Yeah, and then we got like, the villain doesn't know jack shit about the lava rock except exactly what we know about the lava rock. So
yeah.
And then fucking the
or
real
even
Coco
like King
appeared,
Crimson
and JoJo was like, "Hey, yo."
Right. Or King Crimson's like, what does the sand arrow do? Right. What does Requiem? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. The boss did not know like about Requiem and the stand arrow. Again, he had the same amount of information as the gang. Like.
Yeah, and he ended up turning to be like one quite of a JoJo villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch this be. I don't know. I still think our theory holds water that the boss betrayed them, and I don't think the boss is the main villain, but I think she's working.
She's working for the main villain,
kind of like Enma, right?
I think JoJo is like kind of sort of right, because at first he said the mafia, then he ruled it out, but I think the mafia still might have something to do with this, and I think his boss did betray them to whatever this mafia is.
I don't think it's a mafia. I think it's a criminal organization that's like different from the mafia, right? Like it's like a shadow organization, maybe.
Shadow organization.
Yeah, because it has to be it has to be some group that has like a substantial amount of power to know about this, like Rohan, the safe,
a bunch of power, and they have to be shady as fuck.
Yeah, and they also have to like the fact that they can like ambush them like so, right? without them like knowing like what's coming. It's very secretive, you know. More so than I would say like even like what the the gang members in part 5 did, you know.
Yeah. Okay, that's true.
But yeah, no. Overall though, I would say honestly this is probably like the most average chapter that Araki has put out. I'm
Until
to be
we
honest.
fucking one choose you.
Yeah.
with
I did
those
like the
last two
mother.
pages.
I did like more the conversation with the mother about like, oh, we're gonna get what is it? Chicken. He wants to make chicken burritos. Yeah.
Chicken tacos.
No,
It's like chicken tacos for dinner.
chicken burritos. Yeah. And we got more of his mom, which is cool. At least his mother isn't in danger for anything. For once.
I liked all the panels that were about Jodio and Paco. I was really bored by Dragona and Usagi in the watch store. I really did not care about the watch store, but that took up the majority of this chapter.
Yeah,
but I gotta tell you,
it is set up
that
though.
1-2 punch at the end, this 1-2 punch at the end cliffhanger was a really great cliffhanger. Unfortunately, the rest of this chapter is average, so B-, I guess.
B-. I was gonna go C+.
Yeah, that's about the same.
C+, because I also just again, it's just like trying to figure out how it works. And Araki does this weird thing with JoJo like parts, where it's like you have like, sort of just, I guess, just moments in JoJo where it's like you're just trying to figure out how everything works. And I think the biggest offender to that is actually part 1. Surprisingly, as much as I love part 1, because it's like kind of like figuring out the mask with like Dio, right? Like the first time that he grabbed the mask, he's like, what does the mask do? And you kind of just get a bunch of chapters of him like trying to like test it out,
try to figure out the mask,
or like how Dio's like messing with his father before like the big thing happens, you know.
Yeah. So
I don't know, I feel like it's more of that, where it's just kind of like, all right, he's trying to give us clues, he's trying to help us piece it together. It's all set up like I don't know. I think we're going down the course of part 8, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Where it's just kind of, or like even part 7 too, because part 7 actually starts off very slow too. Where it's just kind of like you just need that build up to then get going, you know, to have more fights, and then you have the big villain introduction, and then things pick up. So
it's slow burn, is what it is.
It's slow burn, exactly, slow burn.
Because I'll just point this out. We're almost a year into this story now, and
it almost been a year.
It's almost been a year. Yeah.
Oh,
it's like
my
3
goodness.
months before a year, and there's not been a single like fight against a stand using human. The only stand fight we got was against cats. So, yeah, slow burn.
Yeah, a bunch of cats and maybe Rohan a little bit.
I don't really count that. Rohan was just wiping the floor with them.
Yeah.
That's not a fight. That's a massacre.
That is true. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's called The Owner of the Lava Rock. That's the chapter title, and we literally don't get it until the very last 2 pages.
Yeah.
Like where it's addressed. So
even then, we don't even actually see his face. We just know who's like stand it.
But I want to know what this, because it looks interesting. Like the guy who had the disguise. I wonder what his face is gonna look like, and his design. Like this new stand enemy user. That interests me.
I think it'd be so funny if it is somebody that we've met in like a past JoJo part. I don't know why. I like the idea that just every single villain we see just is a character we've met in a past JoJo part before, like Rohan. That's why it's funny. The JoJoLands.
Yeah.
You know, because all the JoJo characters are here.
Hey, I mean, if you're throwing Koishi, just throw in a bunch of part 4 characters, like the side characters. People would lose their minds.
God, watch! It's gonna be like it's gonna be either Yellow Temperance or whichever Oingo Boingo brother could change his face. I think that would be so funny, actually. Boingo.
Boingo.
No, Oingo.
Or Oingo. No, Oingo's the first one, I think, right? Oingo Boingo.
Okay. Yes, the Oingo Boingo brothers. One changes the face, the other had the book. I don't remember the names of which is which.
I think Oingo is the oldest.
I look at
I think.
Okay, then Oingo. Yeah, if it's Oingo, please let it be Oingo. But yeah, that would be a hell of a plot twist, I must say. If all of a sudden he just got good at fighting.
Yeah, I think it's Oingo. Yeah. Yeah, Oingo is the older brother who can change his face. You'll get Oingo. See, if Whole Horse makes his way into this, that would be pretty fun too.
Oh my god. Yes, the entire stallion. Let's go. Please let him be an ally that joins their crew.
That would be so funny.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, we talked for 20 minutes, surprisingly, which I don't know how we did. With such a nothing burger of a chapter.
It's very simple. We spent about 5 talking about Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
That is true. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody is awesome.
And then we spent like 20 talking about how painfully average, except the last 2 pages were.
Yeah. By the way, off topic, but we can use it to extend the discussion.
Okay.
Did you see the stuff about Avatar: The Last Airbender, like the trailer and stuff?
I saw the trailer, and that was about it.
Okay. What do you think?
They can edit that trailer to look good all they want. I have no faith in this show.
I feel the same way. Because once the creators walked away, I'm just like, you lost me.
The creators walked away out of anger at Netflix for, all the changes they were making. That's why they left. That's a bad sign. That's a horrible, horrible sign,
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting what they're going to do. And I think anime adaptations in general, like Yu Yu Hakusho, we mentioned it earlier when we were talking before the video. But Yu Yu Hakusho is getting a live action from Netflix.
Oh,
and they already have a minus point from me because it's not set in the 90s.
Oh, because it doesn't take place.
And it's not bright and colorful. It's dark and gloomy. I'm like, then what's the point?
Then
what's the point?
Yeah, it looks very, like,
muted.
Batman-esque.
Well, it's muted so they can hide the bad CG. That's why they do it. I'm like, the whole point of the original is it's supposed to be bright and colorful.
Well, you know what I think? I think that we as a society need to stop being ashamed of bad CGI and fantasy stuff like Yu Yu Hakusho and fully embrace it. Because, yeah, of course it doesn't look real. It's fantasy, dumbass.
Like for example,
embrace it. Embrace that
I know
shit.
the CG was awful, but the Dungeons and Dragons movie, have you seen it?
I actually haven't, no.
Alright, so they embraced it. So there was like really bad CG with like dragons and stuff, but it was bright and colorful. So I was like, I don't care, I can see everything. That's what matters here.
Dude,
I can see what is going on.
Why do you think one of my favorite shows is Kamen Rider? Their CGI fucking sucks a lot of the time.
Yeah, but you can see everything.
It's bright and colorful, and like I'm just like so fucking hyped. It's like I'm like holy shit, that dragon looks like shit, but it's cool as fuck. Look at it go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. They should just stop. Like One Piece. That's what One Piece did so well. People are like, oh, his gum fruit doesn't look cool. I'm like, or doesn't look realistic. I'm like, yeah, because it's not. You can't stretch a human being.
Can you stretch like that? Like,
yeah.
That's not a human thing.
I've seen people complain about when he inflated to the size of a balloon. They're like, that was weird. I'm like, that's from the anime. Shut up.
That is a Luffy power. That is Luffy.
I'm glad they did it because it's a reference to the anime, which is what you're supposed to be paying respects to. Like, my god.
Yeah.
And I still think the same thing with like CG and anime. It's like you'll have a couple CG scenes and like unimportant fight scenes or like small moments. I'm like, I don't care. Like, they're trying to focus their animation on the stuff that matters, so when they do deliver, it's okay. And the CG is not bad by any means. I hate that too. It's like people's standards for what they think is good is kind of dog shit, not gonna lie.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but from the clips I've seen, the live action Part 4 movie, that one I think is bright and colorful.
It's actually pretty good. It's pretty decent actually. Yeah. No, it's pretty good. I like that.
I'll give him points on that one.
Yeah, there's also like, I mean, we talked about Free Run earlier. But
I think it's the second best high fantasy story
but like,
ever
do
told.
you remember the soldiers?
Lord of the Rings is one, but
yeah, the soldiers are a complete CG, and you can tell. But that's not bad by any means,
No.
Yeah, so
Like, just because you, like, I don't know, I think there is an overabundance of CGI. I think that's true. But I also think that, there's a time between, like, you, when telling, you, like, at this point, we can just tell.
Yeah.
CGI has been used so much that I think humans just know when it is and isn't CGI. And I think that is part of the fact that there is an overabundance. But that doesn't mean I think it's a bad thing. I think it's a tool that can and should be used, but more in moderation. And I think if your CGI looks bad, you can still do something stylistic with it, especially in like fiction and high fantasy.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Because like that's why I'm not watching it for like the best. Like of course it doesn't look real. This thing doesn't exist. Like headless zombie soldiers. Like of fucking course it. I know it's not real because it doesn't exist. But you're showing me a possible version, and that's all that matters. And I'm enjoying the story in the world.
Yeah, because like I'm also looking at it from like the perspective like I'm watching the show called Unluck Undead or Undead Unluck. Very good, by the way. But they have a scene where there's zombies, and there's a lot of zombies, but they make them CG. But then the normal fights is like complete animation. People are like, well, there's CG. I'm like, yeah, do you want to have them hand draw each zombie, which there are hundreds, right? And then like not have enough time to make a decent fight scene? Like, yeah, and then you hear the stuff with also, did you hear the stuff with like Mappa too?
Oh, Mappa is
going through it.
Going down, is burning right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that can stop Mappa, a union.
Yeah, which they're not gonna. I mean, Japanese culture, they're not. It's out of.
Now a Japanese awful work.
You know how Mappa was formed?
How was it formed?
It was formed based off animators who were unhappy with the conditions at Madhouse, and so they formed their own thing. And the president of Mappa, the CEO, wants to make an effort to kind of be up there with Kyoto Animation, and that's why he's pushing for all of these projects to do. But my goodness, like take it back. You're doing too much. You're like the MCU. Your oversaturation's not good.
I was gonna say, like, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Because holy shit, they literally did what they were against.
Yeah, same
why they were formed.
Same with the studio behind Zom 100.
Oh yeah, no, they did. Yeah, that's what I heard. Is that they
left
they were
so they can make their own thing, and then because of poor management, they're now delaying everything till December 24th.
Well, that one sounds more like, but that's not like that's not because of like overworking. Which is like the evil thing. That's more like why what was it? So like indie comics back in the 90s.
Yeah.
They're when a bunch of people started like splitting off from like DC and Marvel because they were mad at the comic practices that basically meant that they didn't get to own their own characters.
Yeah.
That was like the main issue, and they formed like Image Comics and stuff like that. It for the most part failed because at some point, people realized they weren't business people, they were artists, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like,
well, no, I know that. It's because they're artists, not businessmen. They're artists first, businessmen second. So when they did that, they're kind of just like,
they didn't know what they were doing.
They didn't know what they were getting themselves into. Yeah, no, but that's what I was more making the point that they needed to pace themselves. Like they needed to like take an extra moment to like get the logistics in order so that this doesn't happen again. I
think the craziest thing I heard was that JJK 0 was finished in 4 months.
What? The movie?
Yeah, the movie. 4 months.
That's insane.
That is.
Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me because they were saying that they were finishing the animation for JJK episodes literally the day,
like hours before they came out.
I'm like, how does that happen?
Yeah, I gotta be honest, before all this stuff, I was always under the assumption that, they would spend months, like, animating it, and, with the exception of maybe, like, 1 or 2 scenes in, like, the last, like, couple episodes, they would be done with it, and they would release, it'd be done except for, like, scheduled releases. Not they were still animating when it comes out, That's how I always assumed animation works. They would spend like months to years working on like a singular project, or like have teams work on individual projects until it was like basically like 97% done, and then have start releasing it.
Yeah.
So they can finish like that last like 3%.
Yeah. But no,
apparently I was wrong. So
yeah.
I learned that lesson the hard way when Uncle from Another World
the last episode that we were waiting for forever, and then it dropped, and it was such a nothing burger ending. No cliffhanger, no nothing. It was just like, this is the end.
Because the story's still going. That's the thing.
I'm like, you couldn't have left it on like a better cliffhanger. You just wrapped everything up in one season. It was so good.
I don't know. It honestly deserves a season 2 because I enjoy it and it's a good concept.
Yeah.
And the manga's still ongoing, but it's never gonna happen because of that horrible release schedule.
Yeah. Same with well, I mean, it was COVID delays too, but same with shoot, what is it called? It's like the Demon Prince Academy or whatever.
Oh, I didn't.
That finished, and that got delayed for like months, halfway through, because of COVID.
Oh Jesus.
I know there's so many. Misfit of Demon King Academy. That's what it is. Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I just hope. I mean, here's the thing. Animation, I think, is some of the best media. Like, anime has some of the best stories currently, like original stories currently, in terms of volume. However, they're also going through their plethora of problems because of it, because they just want to keep pumping out great content. And I think they need to, especially Mappa needs to take a step back and really.
They gotta slow the fuck down.
Slow
they did
down.
change.
Yeah.
Because like within like a year, they've done like Chainsaw Man, JJK, both 0 and season 2,
and season 2
Attack on Titan's
Shibuya, not
final
just
season,
any
part
JJK
3.
season. Shibuya.
Yeah, the fucking Shibuya.
Attack on Titan, the final chapters, and part 3, yeah.
I mean, you look at stuff like this and you understand why DJ is never gonna get the Yuri on Ice movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. It still hasn't come out yet. That's so funny. Madam Web is gonna have her own movie before Yuri on Ice. The Madam Web.
Ripped all the Yuri on Ice fans watching, but I hate to break it to you, this movie's probably never happening.
Yeah, they probably forgot.
It's probably either been shelved or burned. Take your pick.
Yeah, oof.
But
that's rough.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but anyways,
Madam Web.
What do you guys think of this chapter? Did you like it? Did you think it was okay? Did you hate it? I don't know why I said okay and did a thumbs down. Was it bad? There we are. Let us know your thoughts and more. I mean, honestly, I'm just trying to pump out like videos like as they come. Like my regular stuff, like my Kakurabachi and JoJoLands is literally the only thing I've been consistent with in terms of posting. Everything else, I'm kind of just like, I'm trying to make a JJK video, but I'm waiting for Shibuya to end. Or at least like the big twist.
So that's like the end of the year.
Yeah, it's not going to be till a while, so I don't know. I may make a Shibuya, I may make a tier list. Do you want to do a tier list again? Because my tier list videos have been popping off.
We could do a tier list at some
Attack on Titan
maybe
characters?
After my laptop battery got fixed. I gotta tell you guys, a whole month of Doctor Who related videos was planned and being workshopped. But then my laptop battery decided, hey, you know what would be really fun if you couldn't use your computer for or your laptop for more than like a minute at a time, and then it just keeps dying, even plugged in. So
yeah, so I guess it's whatever, but yeah.
This is after being sick for an entire month too, last month.
Yeah.
So, just a whole wave of problems have come my way. When it rains, it pours, I guess.
When it rains, it pours. Which, speaking of, it's actually raining right now for me. It's like downpouring.
It is raining here too, as well.
That's actually kind of funny. Yeah, when it rains, it pours.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah, but anyways, I think that's it for JoJoLands. I mean, Araki People are like, Araki cooked with this one. I'm like, eh. I mean, he did an alright job. He's done better though.
Araki did an okay job on this one. Not,
yeah.
You know, he microwaved this one.
Well, I wouldn't say microwave. More like he cooked and then these are leftovers. So it's like it's a decent meal. It's a decent meal, but it's microwave food. It just hits different from like when you first cook it.
You had to heat it up in the microwave.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't say it's like like microwave ramen. No, it's like you make the ramen beforehand, but then you put it in the refrigerator, then take it out and then microwave it, and it just doesn't taste as good because it's not fresh. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. This is definitely that kind of story. I mean, hopefully we get more of his mom for reasons I cannot disclose. Because I want to know more about her character, and I want to know how, like I want to see those chicken burritos.
She seems like she has some pretty good character. I think we just need more development.
I just want more screen time with her. I like her design too. And then I want to know like this big bad that they're hyping up, and this new enemy stand user too. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've dragged this on for almost 40 minutes. People are gonna look at this and like, these guys talked about this chapter for 40 minutes.
For 40 minutes.
Like, what kind of breakdown did they go into? And most of it is just like random ramblings about.
Yeah, the first part is like Zack and Cody, then you get a little bit of JoJoLands in the middle, and then you get like our conversation about about anime and the animation industry as
honestly,
a whole,
I think
after like we had a whole conversation about CGI.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm gonna be honest, Indomitable. So I used to do like weekly chapters of Kakurabachi, but there was so little happening in these chapters. Like I only was able to talk about it for like 2 minutes. So what I did is I'm making it bi-weekly now, so I do 2 chapters, and now that's enough. And I feel like this is getting the same with JoJoLands, at least right now, where it's just nothing really is happening. So do you want, but I know it's like a monthly release, so we want to make videos as much as we can when it comes out, because it's a long time gap. Do you want to just do this and just kind of do a bunch of rambling about stuff, and then also like throw in JoJoLands, like a JoJoLands breakdown and then time code it.
We could totally do that.
Like literally, it'll just be like kind of like a podcast in a sense with JoJoLands thrown in, you know.
I'm fully down to do that for the sole reason of is like the last few times like JoJoLand chapters have like given us next to nothing except maybe like one thing at like the very end, you know.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
I mean, we literally talked about a lot, just not JoJoLands. Like we've talked about literally Zack and Cody, the animation industry at large, you know, anime live actions, like threw it in. So I mean, if people want to come for JoJoLands and then stick around for this, you can too. So also let me know what you guys think of my sunglasses look. Do you like my sunglasses look? Do you want me with just my regular eyes? Let me know, because I want to know if I cooked or not with this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This.
I'll have a really long video next month when I combine this and the next JoJo video together. So. Oh
yeah, we're gonna be rambling with that one too, and we're probably gonna do this for another 10 years too. So.
2-hour JoJo video in December.
People were like, what the hell is a 2-hour JoJo video doing here? Oh man, I'll send you the time codes too, so you can like record them for when you do that, because I'm going to get this up later tonight. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Will be out next month.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Did you like? I mean, I already did this. I already asked them this question. Yeah.
Tell us how wrong we were, and that's it. Goodbye. Get the fuck out of here.
Tell us how wrong we are. Yes, threaten us. I dare you. All right. Bye.
Yeah.